5 Live Football Daily.
This is dangerous. Cross the fly to go. Welbeck must score, does score.
It's going to be Alonso to strike it around the wall. And it beats Fraser Forster.
Goes for the curler. Mo Salah.
What you see is what you get. We're a team that gives everything for the shirt. That's a minimum requirement at the football club.
This is a big club with no ambition.
It's been missed by Dow. Rashford is there. What an impact he's made.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the 5 Live Football Daily with me, Jason Mohammed. Leeds United endured another terrible FA Cup experience, this time at the hands of Newport County, and West Ham United survived a scare at League One Shrewsbury Town. But we start at the City Ground for Arsenal's visit to Nottingham Forest and our commentary team of Leon Osman and Conor McNamara.
The final whistle blows. What about this for an FA Cup story? For the first time in Arsene Wenger's 21 years in charge of Arsenal, they are eliminated from the FA Cup at the first hurdle. The holders go out in the third round, and you cannot take any credit away from the 10 men of Nottingham Forest because they wanted this, they fought for this, they have been victorious in this, and the name of Nottingham Forest goes into the draw for the fourth round on Monday.
Well, people have been questioning the magic of the FA Cup. Well, we had it all this afternoon. Nottingham Forest were incredible to a man. They were better than Arsenal, they fought harder than Arsenal, they were more threatening than Arsenal and thoroughly deserved their win today. The Arsenal players are now complaining to the referee. I don't think it matters. They were beaten before that happened, but Nottingham Forest were terrific.
Arsenal are still complaining. Mertesacker, Ospina, Walcott, they are all over in the ears of the officials, but the game is over. Arsenal are out. It is the first time, Jason Mohammed, that Arsenal have conceded 4 goals or more to a team from a lower division in the FA Cup since 1908. Hull City over a century ago did it. Nottingham Forest have done it today, and it's Forest with their caretaker manager Gary Brazil, who go into the fourth round. Brilliant cup tie. It's finished. Forest 4, Arsenal 2.
Well, Conor and Leon, what a game. So much to talk about in 606 this evening. If you want to have your say, lines are open now. 08085 909 693. Kelly Cates and Chris Sutton taking your calls. Leon and Conor, let's just start with the penalty that perhaps shouldn't have been allowed, because we've been watching replays here. We're at Shrewsbury Town, of course, where it was 0-0 against West Ham United. It definitely looked like it was a double hit, Leon.
Yeah, I mean, you could see that as soon as it happened. He slipped over, and you know when people slip over and the ball ricochets up, it's most probably come off his other foot. Everyone in the stadium seemed to notice. There was a big gasp when it happened before the goal. The Arsenal players were straight up to the referee, making the point. He went over and spoke to his assistant referee on the far side, but between them, they allowed the goal, and it just brings back all of this VAR talk and whether it should be introduced properly.
Conor, you know, you just have to wonder as well, don't you? Arsenal fans will probably have their say on 606 tonight and talk about the team selection. But Conor, yes, they've got this League Cup tie, the semi-final against Chelsea. We've seen this in years gone by. Liverpool have done it. They've come unstuck in the FA Cup. If Arsenal don't get to the final of the League Cup, it's another tournament that they're out of and another season without a trophy for Arsenal.
And especially, Jason, this season, not being involved in the Champions League. Arsene Wenger has been playing weakened teams regularly in the Europa League, so it's not really like a Champions League season when those extra commitments were needed in that regard. I think he thought it was a good enough team to win. You know, these 21 years he's been at the club, this is not the first time Arsene Wenger has made changes for the third round of the FA Cup, but it's always been good enough to get the team through. The last time that Arsenal failed to reach the fourth round, the 95-96 season, Sheffield United beat them, and that was just before Arsene Wenger was appointed as the head coach. He thought it was going to be good enough today. This sort of team has been good enough in the past, but it does feel like further evidence of Arsenal's depreciation, if you like, deterioration, that they can't just show up, make the changes and expect to beat a team from the Championship. And don't forget, it wasn't a full-strength Nottingham Forest team either. Look at Matthew Cash. He'd only played 1 start in the Championship this season. He played most of the game here. This, Jason, was simply a day when Nottingham Forest wanted it more.
Absolutely, and we will talk about Forest in just a moment, but one more question to you, Leon, on Arsenal. and it is this, that Arsene Wenger in the stands today, because he is banned from the touchline. This is from Ryan, who says, I want Arsene Wenger to complain about the referee John Moss today to assure he's banned from the dugout longer. The longer away from the team, even if he has some influence, the better. What do you make of this sort of stuff, Leon?
Well, I'm not sure where to start with that one. I'll get myself in trouble, but I do think Arsenal missed him on the touchline today. His influence being there to pull the strings, and I mean, you know, he's not missed many games throughout his tenure up in the stands, but you know, it's the first time they've lost at this stage in the cup competition, and if you put the two together, you realise how important it is for him to be on the line.
But Connor, they are the holders. They have such a fine history in the FA Cup, Connor.
Of course they do, and you know, no manager has won the FA Cup more often than Arsene Wenger, and I think this is why, Jason, it's going to sting him, because obviously I've got to go down to the tunnel now and interview him. You've got to say, you know, Arsenal, were you taking it seriously today? Were you respecting the FA Cup? He's going to say, hang on a minute, I've won the FA Cup more often than anyone else. This, of course, is a competition that I respect, that I have respected, that I continue to respect, and yet on the day today when they, you know, the big guns were called on, experienced players, internationals, people like Danny Welbeck, you know, where was he in the game for much of it? Did well for the goal that he scored, but how many times did we mention him in an attacking sense in the game? World Cup winners like Per Mertesacker, but you look around the team, Theo Walcott, Leon Osmond, I mean, that was not a performance you expect by a man who's been a regular England international over the years.
No, I mean, and he wasn't the only one. You know, when you come to a place like this, your senior players really do need to get on the ball, but as it happened, the Arsenal's better players were Willock and Nelson, the young players coming in trying to show what they could do. And you know, Arsene Wenger's won this competition quite a number of times in the last few years, so I don't think we can label not taking it seriously, but you know, I think it was all just too much. The Nottingham Forest players wanted it more today.
Well, listen, boys, thank you very much indeed. Fantastic tie. Loved your commentary. Thank you very much indeed to Leon Osmond and to Conor McNamara. Well, earlier there was a terrific result for League Two side Newport County after they beat Championship playoff hopefuls Leeds United by 2-1. The winner was scored in the 89th minute by Sean Mikowski, a terrific header, and afterwards he spoke to Rob Nothman.
Well, what was that like, coming on as a sub, scoring a winner in a cup tie like that?
Brilliant. It's just all a blur, to be honest. I came on, just tried to affect the game as much as I can, and last minute we got the corner and just threw all I can at it, to be honest.
And for all of us watching, it was coming. Newport had put Leeds under a lot of pressure throughout that second half.
Yeah, definitely. After we scored the first goal, we just got them on their back foot and just tried to attack them as much as possible and just see the game out.
Decent couple of days for you, 21 yesterday.
Yeah, definitely. A great late birthday present for me, so yeah, I'll take that.
And this competition, the FA Cup's taken a little bit of criticism in recent years. For a young player like you, what does it really mean to have done something like this?
It means a lot. It's just what dreams are made of, to be honest. Like, to knock out a championship team in the FA Cup. So yeah, it's just brilliant, to be honest. Obviously, for all the young lads looking up. So yeah, couldn't ask for nothing better, to be honest.
And you're on loan from Bristol City, but for a club like this, it just seems to mean so much. Haven't had much success over the years. Club very nearly dropped out the Football League last season.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely means a lot to this club, and obviously the position they were in last season, it's been a very good season so far for us. So we just got to keep working hard on and off the pitch and just see where this season takes us, to be honest.
Going to keep a few headlines from tomorrow. Newspapers are going to be full of you celebrating.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, just looking forward to the next draw in the FA Cup, and obviously concentrating on the league now.
Well, many congratulations. Well done today.
Thank you very much.
Excellent result for Newport County. As for West Ham United, they survived a pretty testing match against League One outfit Shrewsbury Town, drawing 0-0. Afterwards, the Shrewsbury manager Paul Hurst spoke to Damien Johnson.
Paul, you've gone toe-to-toe with a Premier League side, and should you have won?
Feel like that in the dressing room, to be honest. Even the players are a little bit deflated almost. Credit to them, did extremely well, but just that little bit of quality and a couple of missed opportunities that it would have been nice to have been through. It sounds a little bit silly, being disappointed with a draw at home against a strong West Ham team. So yeah, almost mixed feelings with it, really.
Which was your best chance? Was it Nolan? Was it Sadler in the first half?
Well, Sads, I think, had a bang to the head and then probably got a nosebleed to get up the pitch. So I'd have to say John Nolan's really on his weaker foot, but he's capable from that distance to score. To not even hit the target is disappointing. But we've got a replay to look forward to. Adds to a already hectic schedule for us.
You can understand why he's disappointed. They had 4 very good chances. Well, Joe Hart was given his first professional contract at Shrewsbury and admits West Ham got out of jail with the goalless draw.
100%. We were terrible today, but Shrewsbury were really good. Good run of form, and it's a tough place to come. And we didn't play well. We had 3 games in a week. And that is a lot of football for some of the lads, but there were some big opportunities, for the likes of myself today, and get some game time. And I don't think it was necessarily taken, but we're still in the cup. The Christmas period's crazy, and we'll see what happens in the replay.
So, was fatigue a factor, do you feel?
No, I can't blame it on fatigue. There was some terrible football played today, and we lost a lot of battles. So, yeah, it was a cup tie. It was a really tough cup tie, and I think 0-0 was almost a fair result.
For you coming back here, must have been emotional to captain the side as well.
Yeah, it was a nice touch. This is my hometown. This is where I grew up. This is where I did everything. I went to school here. I've got lots of friends and family. This is the club that gave me my opportunity in football, and it's very, very special to me. So it was a nice moment to play today. But during the game, obviously I wanted to win, but it's over now. And seeing a lot of familiar faces, people who haven't changed, is nice.
You've not been in the side in the Premier League, Joe. Do you face a battle to re-establish yourself, do you feel?
Yeah, of course I do. We've had some good results recently. I've not been playing, so I've got to use days like this to try and stake my claim.
Fair play to Joe. He was magnificent as well, with some of the young fans as well who were by the tunnel having photos and selfies and autographs. So well played, Joe Hart. Elsewhere, Spurs beat AFC Wimbledon 3-0 at Wembley to secure safe passage into round 4 of the Emirates FA Cup. And coming up this week on 5 Live Sport, 2 EFL Cup semi-finals for you. On Tuesday night, coverage of Manchester City against Bristol City before Chelsea play Arsenal on Wednesday night. Coverage of both games start at 7 o'clock. Thank you very much indeed for listening. Bye for now.
You're listening to a BBC 5 Live podcast. The 5 Live Football Daily.
If you like this, you might also like this.
606, the UK's biggest football debate.
You can use all the excuses imaginable. These guys get paid a lot of money.
To find out more about our range of podcasts, click, tap or swipe bbc.co.uk/5live.